Welcome to another edition of the Let's Debate podcast, powered by Delahanty Media. It's been 2 weeks since we've been on the air, but we are very happy to be back on. My name is Nick Delahanty. I'm going to throw it right in here. Uh, I want to make sure our audience knows what you went through over the last couple of days. Kyle was a game time decision due to a shoulder injury, but he's powering through tonight, so we give him a lot of credit for that. Kyle, how's it going? How you feeling?
What's going on, Nick? And what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Debate podcast. Like Nick said, it's been about 2 weeks since our last episode. We've had some things going on. Obviously, I don't look too presentable tonight, as Nick was mentioning. I had undergone some. I had a torn labrum, so I went through a little bit of a surgery yesterday. So I'm a little sore, going through some pain, but the show's still got to go on. 2 weeks ago, Nick and I did our last episode. Definitely wasn't a debate. It was more of a base episode. So if you guys haven't gotten a chance to check that out, you know the deal. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube later on, head to our website. You can find it on the screen, anchor.fm/let's debate. You can also check out our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a like, follow. And then if you're looking to add to your wardrobe, head over to the shop, get yourself some new attire at Delahanty Media. But yeah, this week we have a pretty similar episode to last episode. This time around, we're going to do some basketball trivia. I know Nick and I really enjoyed doing baseball trivia a few weeks ago. We weren't perfect. We had some correct, but I feel like we weren't really completely off the rails with our answers. So I'm excited to get started on this episode, and I hope you guys enjoy. So if I didn't miss anything and Nick wants to get the show rolling, let's do it.
Listen, if you were a professional athlete, you would probably be on the sideline for a couple of months here. So we appreciate your dedication to the show. But you
Yeah.
covered everything. Again, follow us on social media. You can see it below on the screen. I had a little bit of a fun setting up the screen again tonight. I got a little basketball background. This is Kyle's forte, basketball. I expect him to have a great night here. For me, if I get a couple right, I'll be happy. I'm a baseball guy, so but we do have some interesting trivia. We want you guys to interact with us as well. Leave us some comments, and we'll try to get through them throughout the show. But let's get started. How do you want to run this thing? You want me to start off with a question, or how do you want to go about this?
Yeah, I feel like we could bounce back and forth. You ask a question, I'll ask a question, and then we could, depending on if we know the answers to them, we could, I guess, both give an answer if we know it or not. So, yeah, if you want to get it started, let's do it. And also, I feel like Nick put the pressure on me now. Now I feel like I got to get some of these right because basketball is my forte. But hey, listen, I don't know everything. I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable, but
We won't
let's see how we do.
we won't judge you off of it. We'll just know that you're doing your best. But before we even get into it, I just want to make note for everybody. Kyle's a Nets fan, diehard Nets fan. I am how you would call a fan of a player. Growing up, I was a Nets fan just like Kyle. They were really good when we were growing up. They were fun to watch. As time went on, the Nets moved to Brooklyn. I lost interest. Became a huge Kevin Durant fan while he was in college, and decided I was going to follow Durant. He was in Oklahoma City. I was following them, and then Golden State. We all know that ordeal. I didn't fan but jump on the bandwagon there, but now he's with the Nets, so I could say that I'm a Durant fan, if that makes any sense.
So basically, Nick's trying to say he's a Brooklyn Nets fan.
I wouldn't call
he's got he's
myself a
he's
Nets
got to
fan.
support him.
I wouldn't call it a Nets fan, but I'm rooting for Durant. I would love to see him bring a title to Brooklyn. That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think we all are around here besides Knicks fans. But
Yeah, exactly. So my first question, and the reason why I brought up you were a Nets fan, the Nets have 6 retired jersey numbers in their history. How many of those can you name?
oh man, I feel like you got to go Dr. J.
Dr. J's one, number 32. Good answer.
Uh, Dawkins.
No, sir.
No.
No.
Wow.
One is
Okay. Petrovic.
Petrovic is one. He had a shortened career. He was really good. I wish
Yeah.
he was around longer. That was a good one.
Oh wow. I was really expecting Dawkins. I don't know if he's in there yet, but he should be, or he will be. Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd's another one. So you got 3 of the 6 right now. The 3 you don't have are hard. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, they're not easy. They're a little past our time, so they're not ideal for us.
I'm probably not gonna get him. You could just name the last 3.
All right, so number 23, John Williamson, played for the Nets from 73 to 77, and then 78 to 80. He had 2 stints with the team. Then you had Bill Melchioni. I probably botched that name. From 69 to 76, and Buck Williams from 81 to 89.
I feel like I've heard of Buck Williams. It's tough. I feel like there's a lot of players, like, you could even throw in a guy like Richard Jefferson. I feel like one day might be retired in there. He played a big part on those 2 championship appearances, but you never really know with how teams retire jerseys. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Like, it's shocking that Dennis Rodman's not retired by the Bulls. So retired jerseys are tough. There's a lot of players on a lot of teams that you would expect have retired jerseys that aren't. But I know from us growing up, you knew Jason Kidd had to be in there.
Oh yeah, he was a definite. But you got 3 of the 6, and those are the 3 I thought you would get. When I looked it up, I didn't know the others. I knew Buck Williams, but I didn't know the other 2. So I give you credit for that. That was a good one.
All right, I got one for you. Since 2000, how many players won the league MVP, the championship, and the finals MVP in one year?
In the same year.
Since 2000.
Wow, that's a tough one. Let's see. I would have to think LeBron was one of them.
Yep.
He was definitely one of them. Since
there's 3, so you got one already.
So it was league MVP, finals MVP, and
the championship all in one year.
Shaq?
Since 2000. Shaq's won. He did it in 2000.
Wow.
So you had Shaq in 2000. You had LeBron in 2012 and 2013. So there's one more player.
One more. I got to think of this. This is a tough one. Maybe Curry?
No.
I thought Curry,
Not Curry.
Maybe. It wasn't Durant, because Durant lost it when he won the MVP. I'm trying to think of, like, top name players that went to the finals. That's a good one. Give me a conference at least.
Western Conference.
Oh, what? That doesn't really help me. That makes it harder. Let's see. I don't think it was Kobe, because Shaq was just as dominant.
Yeah, no. Not Kobe.
Wow. I don't know. That's a tough one. Who was it?
I feel like the guy I'm about to name is an obvious choice, but we all know he's been known to be one of the most boring players ever. Tim Duncan.
I was
in
going to
03.
guess Duncan. I was going to, but I didn't think he won an MVP.
Yeah. He actually won back-to-back, 02 and 03. Hey, you know what? Like I said, he's one of the greatest players of all time, but he never gets the credit for it because he's the big fundamental. You know, he just boring, but he got the job done.
He was such a quiet superstar, but all they did was win with that dynasty. It's incredible what they did. Even when they lost David Robinson when he retired, like, everybody thought they were going to fall off the map, but they just kept going. They added Ginobili, added Parker. They were good for a long time, man. That Duncan was one of them I was thinking about, and I just wasn't. I was thinking him. I was thinking Nowitzki, but then I'm like, I don't think Nowitzki won an MVP either. So that was a tough one.
Yeah. You know what? You never know.
So this one's a little bit of an extensive one, but I do want to get to this because I was looking at some of these names and I'm like, oh man, I would never guess this. Currently, in the NBA, there's 21 active players that have 50 or more playoff victories in their career. How many of those can you name?
You said 20 players?
21.
21 players, and they have 50 or more playoff victories.
Yeah, so they had whatever team they were with, they've won at least 50 games in the playoffs.
Okay. LeBron, definitely.
LeBron is one. I'm checking these off while you're going. LeBron's one.
Right. Definitely LeBron.
He's actually the leader, I'll give you that, 156. That was the number one, the active playoff wins leader.
Okay. I'm going to go Curry.
Curry is on there. He has 77.
Yeah. So you got to go Clay with him.
Yep, Clay's on there.
Gotta go Draymond.
It's funny, but Draymond and Clay actually have more playoff victories than Curry.
Curry was probably hurt.
Curry was hurt. They have
Yeah.
86. Curry has 77.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Durant.
Durant's got 88. Good guess.
Westbrook.
Westbrook is on there. He has 51. He just made the list.
Close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Iguodala because he had a few playoff victories prior to the Warriors too.
Iguodala's second on the list with 89. That's a good answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Longevity. He's always been a good player.
And he's been on winning teams.
Exactly. Oh man.
It's a trick.
Trying to think of teams here. This is gonna be a wild one. Marc Gasol.
No, Marc Gasol is not on it.
Surprising. I thought he's been on some playoff teams too, and they just won the championship, so he had a few victories last year.
I'm gonna give you a little hint. Don't think superstars. You're missing one's a superstar that's still on the list, but other than that, like the rest are like good to middle of the pack type of players, like guys who are more role players.
Wow. Oh man. It's those players that just jump on like LeBron's team.
Exactly, that's what
like James Jones or something like that. Is Udonis Haslem still playing?
Udonis Haslem's on the list. He's number 4. He had 87 wins. That's a good one. I was gonna give you a little hint on that one, but I knew you were gonna get that one.
Yeah, Udonis Haslem. Oh man. Rajon Rondo.
Rondo's on there. He had 60 total victories so far in the playoffs.
Chris Paul, longevity-wise?
Chris Paul is at 50. You got him. That's one.
Nice. Is Carmelo Anthony on there?
No, Carmelo Anthony's played for the Knicks.
He also really never had too much success in the playoffs, but I figured longevity-wise. What about Joe Johnson?
No, Joe Johnson's not active.
No? Oh, he's not. I know he had the whole big 3 thing or whatever it is. Then he came in for a little bit. Serge Ibaka?
Serge Ibaka's on there with 74. You're missing one from that Thunder team.
James Harden.
James Harden with 61. Yeah. Yep, he's on there. You're doing a good job so far.
So how many more do I need for this?
3, 4, 9.
All right, let me dig into these teams. What about Kawhi Leonard? I know he hasn't been in as much. He is?
Kawhi Leonard is on there. He has 73. Because remember, with the Spurs and with his title runs in Toronto, and he's been there a long time in the playoffs, so he's on there. That's a good one.
Okay.
You're getting there.
I'll get there. Let me think of some teams here. I'm going to say I don't think he's going to be on here, but DeMar DeRozan.
No, DeRozan's not.
No. Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry's not either. Surprising.
Damn. I'm just trying to think of players who have been playing.
There's a couple on here that you should know based off of role players. Like you'll hear the name, you'll be like, oh, okay, he's on there. But there's a couple that are tricky. Like you wouldn't think anything of them. Let's see what kind of hints could I give you here. One on the list is one of your favorite Duke players to ever play.
Oh, JJ Redick.
JJ Redick's on there with 50. Let's see. One plays for the Lakers currently. He's a teammate of LeBron's. Had some success with the Raptors last year.
Danny Green.
Danny Green.
Yep, he was on a bunch of playoff teams.
He has 76 wins. This guy's on the Bucks now. Sharpshooter's been around a long time.
Sharpshooter.
That's all he really does is shoot. He really isn't any good anywhere else. But
he's on the Bucks?
Yeah, he's on the Bucks now.
Sharpshooter.
Played a little. He played with LeBron in Cleveland.
Deladova?
No, close. You're close.
I know he's not a sharpshooter, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
You want me to give you it?
Yeah, just give me it.
Kyle Korver.
Oh wow, I didn't even know. I mean, Corver definitely, but it's like you forget about, like you said, you forget about those guys.
See, now you have 5 more. I'll give them to you, so I don't torture you as much as I've been.
Yeah,
You missed George Hill, which I would have missed too. Al Horford.
dude, he was the guy I was gonna stay with the Bucks, but is he still in the Bucks?
He is with the Bucks still. Yeah, either way you would have
Yeah.
got it right. Al Horford,
Okay, yeah.
Trevor Ariza,
Okay,
Tristan Thompson,
he can thank LeBron for that.
and Patty Mills.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those players. You got to be on the right team or with the right player. Like they just drag along on those
You
teams.
got to be the Steve Kerr of the Bulls.
There you go. All right, I got one for you. All right. Since 2000, how many teams have lost in consecutive NBA Finals?
in consecutive NBA Finals. Wow. Well, were the Nets one of them? The
Yep.
Nets were one. Let's see. That's a tough one. I know Cleveland didn't lose it back to back. That would have crushed LeBron's Jordan comparison.
No, they
They
did.
did.
They did.
Wow, I don't see. My thing is, I don't remember this is back to back. Like that just makes LeBron even lesser than Jordan as it is. See, good thing I didn't know this before the GOAT debate there. So I would say 2. I don't think anybody else has.
Yeah, that's it. Nets lost back to back in 02-03, and LeBron lost back to back in 17 and 18 when the Warriors got Durant. So there
That's
hasn't been
right.
too many, but they're heartbreaking for me because I'm a Nets fan and I'm a LeBron fan. So
I remember that those Nets losses in the finals, they got dominated by Shaq and Kobe. It was embarrassing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and those
Oh,
teams
yeah.
were good. Like we watched them; they were fun, they were exciting, and they just had no match for Shaq.
I don't think there's ever been a match for Shaq. To me, most dominant player to ever step foot on the court. He's a freak.
His size and ability to run the floor is just incredible. I'm gonna save one of my longer ones for you later because that last one was a little challenging.
Alright.
This one I think you'll get though. What in the 2000s? Who was the first player to record back-to-back 50-point games?
In the 2000s,
Yeah. So starting in 2000, who was the first one to do it?
I feel like you got to go AI.
No, sir.
No? Wow. Just give me a conference then. Conference.
He played for, I want to say the Eastern Conference.
Was it T-Mac?
No, it was not. I'm gonna Google this guy so I can tell you exactly who he played for in the year. So think about this a little bit, and I'll give you a little bit of a help in regards to that.
Eastern Conference.
Okay, so at the time he was playing for Golden State, but he spent time with the majority of his career was in the East. He was with Washington. For the better part of his career, he was with Washington.
Gilbert Arenas.
No, sir.
No?
This is a tricky one. I'm catching you off guard here.
So you're saying he was on Golden State when this happened,
Yeah.
and then he spent the majority of his career with Washington.
Yes, sir. Well, the majority of his prime of his career was with Washington. He was with Dallas. He was with a couple of teams.
Wow.
This one's not easy. I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I'm trying to think like,
Who could score?
oh, was it Antoine Jameson?
Correct.
Wow, I would not expect him to drop 50.
That's what I said. I thought it was AI too. I'm sitting there and I was doing the quiz and I'm like AI and I'm like, oh, Antoine Jameson. Okay, so that was a good one.
Because I do remember him on Washington. So I was kind of forgetting the Golden State part of it, and I was like, okay, who was relevant on Washington during the Arenas years, and I remember Antoine Jameson.
Yeah, and Arenas
That's a
was
good one. You saw the first two that came out of my mouth were the guys who usually dropped points like that. So it was like, all right, AI used to drop points. T Mac was a scoring machine. So all right, that was a good one. I got one.
all
Ready?
right.
Since 2000, how many players have won the Rookie of the Year and the MVP in their careers since 2000? That means that doesn't mean like AI was drafted in 96 and won the MVP in 2001. They all have to be within 2000.
Oh, in the same year.
So you had to be drafted inside the 2000s and win MVP in your career, Rookie of the Year and MVP in your career so far.
So it doesn't have to be in their
How
rookie.
many?
So it doesn't have to be in their rookie year. So like,
It's not the same year.
okay, so like LeBron's
No,
an answer because he won the rookie of the year and then he won the MVP.
Yeah.
And it had to be in 2000. So let's see. That's tricky. So LeBron's one, obviously.
Yeah.
He's
There's only 3 guys,
so
so you have 2 more.
2 more. So did Durant win rookie of the year?
Yeah.
So that's 2. How could I not forget? How can I not pick my guy? And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. That's a good one. Let's see. Luke.
This one might be a little tricky.
This one's probably going to be a little tricky. What year was was he a rookie? The third one.
Oh wait,
Oh, 8. That makes it even more challenging. That's not good. Wow. So that means he's in the middle part of his career now. I don't want to say Curry, but I don't think he won the rookie of the year.
no,
Who was the third one? I have
Not
no
Curry.
idea.
D Rose.
Wow, I forgot about him. You just forget about him because of the injuries. Like he was supposed to be the next coming. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, if he never got hurt, he was so good, so fun to watch too. That injury, and he's still playing well, but it definitely took a few years off his career, and you tend to forget. That's why I said it was a little tricky because the injury you don't think of him as an MVP now.
Oh heck no, not at all. That was a tough one. Well, other than Durant and LeBron, I knew LeBron did because he's LeBron. And following Durant,
Yeah.
you figured that was one, but that was a tricky one, especially because you wouldn't think of Rose now, especially the way, like he had a resurgence of his career, but nothing like we thought he was gonna be.
No.
All right, so
right.
I have 2 for you because they kind of bunch together. Okay.
Okay.
Who was the first player to win 8 NBA scoring titles?
Wow. 8 NBA scoring titles.
Yeah.
Wow. First player to win 8 NBA scoring titles. I mean, I'm thinking this has got to go back to, like, is it in the 60s and 70s?
No, sir. You're making this a
No?
lot harder on yourself than it has to be.
Is it Michael Jordan?
It is Jordan. He's the first one to 8.
Okay.
But now the second question it relates to Jordan. That's why I'm asking them together. True or false? Robert Horry has more championship rings than Michael Jordan.
True.
It is true. It is true. Big.
I think
shot.
Horry has, 7?
Yeah, big shot, Bob.
Listen, Horry, people could get on him for having so many titles. He was a winner and he was clutch. Horry was a good player.
He was. He could shoot.
It's like he won all the championships. He was more of a role player, but a role player who stepped up, But yeah, 7. I think he won 2 with the Rockets, 3 with the Lakers, 2 with the Spurs. I think it was
Yeah,
something like that.
think about it. How much success you have in your career. That's crazy in itself. That's like Steve Kerr. Like same thing. Like how many? He doesn't have as many rings, but you go and you're a role player, and things happen. You go in the right spot, and it works out.
Robert Horry. All right, I got one for you. How many NBA Finals? This is actually a 2-part question too.
Okay.
First question. Yeah, I'll switch around. Can you name every team that Shaquille O'Neal has played on in his NBA career, and how many finals has he gone to?
Okay, so he started his career. He got drafted by the Magic.
Right.
Then he went to the Lakers. He
Yep.
played for the Heat. He
Yep.
played for the Suns.
Yep.
He played for the Celtics.
Correct.
Am I missing any?
One more.
Wow. Eastern or Western Conference?
Eastern.
He played for who else did he play for in the East? Wow. That's interesting. That I it's gonna hit me in the face. I know it's gonna be something very simple I can't think of.
I feel like it's probably the most obvious one you could think of.
That's not good. That just puts more pressure on me here. Wow. So I got the Celtics. I got the Heat. I'm trying to think of East teams. He didn't play for. He did not play for the Bucks.
No.
He didn't play for the Nets. He didn't play for the Knicks.
He's trying to grab another ring. Who would you go with trying to win another ring in that time?
Wow. Oh. I'm trying to think back to those days. Like who was good in the? Oh, Cleveland.
Yeah.
He played. How could I forget he played with LeBron? I'm like this. I'm looking at the East.
In his, I believe it was the introductory press conference. He said he's trying to win a ring for the king.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good press conference. That was a good one. I was like, I couldn't think of that final team. I'm trying to go through his whole career because I'm like, okay, we followed it, but that one just kind of went in the wayside.
You know, tail end of his career, he was kind of just jumping around, going to like the teams are, he was ring chasing. But the second half of that question, how many finals has he been to?
So he went to one with the Magic. What was it, 3 with the Lakers?
Nope.
It was more with the Lakers. It was 4?
Yeah. 4.
It was 4 with them, so 5 there. Then he won one with the Heat.
Yep.
So that's 6. Did he get one with LeBron? Like to the playoffs? Or to the finals?
No.
He didn't get one with him. So
no.
I'm going to say 7.
He had 1. 6. Magic, 4, and then I can't use my other arm. I had a thumb up, but you guys can't see it.
I'll put the thumb up for you.
Yeah, he went to 6. Yeah, he went to 6. 1 with the Magic, 4 with the Lakers, and then 1 with the Heat, and he won 4.
And he won, 3 with the Lakers, 1 with the Magic, and he lost. That 1 with the Magic he lost. That was the year they beat the Bulls.
Versus Elijah won.
Yeah, they beat the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. He had a good career.
Yep. Great career. And you know what? I love Shaq because he's such a good dude. Like, I love listening to him on TV. He's an all around great guy. Makes me like someone so much more.
Oh, he's very entertaining. Now, another thing that was entertaining in the NBA at the time was the Dream Team. All right.
Oh yeah.
Who was the only college player selected to be on that team?
Laettner.
Christian Laettner. That was an easy one. I figured you were going to get that one, but I had to throw it in there. That was a good one. Christian Laettner is the answer.
Most hated college player probably ever.
Absolutely.
We bashed JJ Redick, but he's not even close.
Well, we have reasons for not liking JJ Redick, so.
Well, I know, yeah. I mean, I've started to like him over time, but if you want to go back, what was it, 14 years ago now? I wasn't a huge fan of him.
I got one. Don't
for
say
you,
that too loud, though. My sister may be watching. Don't say that too loud.
I feel like she knows the story. She knows the dislikes there. All right, I got one for you. This one's a little bit tougher. Well, it could be tough. I feel like I could ask this 2 different ways. But can you name all the NBA teams who have never won an NBA championship? Not talking ABA. I'm talking NBA championship. There's 12 teams that have never won an NBA championship. Can you name them?
Wow.
Current teams right now.
That haven't won an NBA championship. So the Nets are one. They won in the ABA, right? But they didn't win in the NBA.
Yeah, they never won in the NBA. So that's 1.
The Knicks have won one, I think.
They were NBA champions.
Yeah, they're a dumpster.
I think in the 70s.
They're a dumpster fire. So anytime you think of them, let's see. Dallas won one. I'm trying to think of teams off the top of my head here. Celtics obviously won. Lakers obviously won. This is tough because I don't have the teams in front of me. Like if I had the logos in front of me, I'd be like, all right, this team didn't win, that team didn't win. Atlanta's won one.
It's not an easy question.
Has Atlanta won one?
You know what? They have. I don't know when, but they did because they weren't on the list. So when I was originally going through this, I was like, they've never won, but supposedly they did. So unless the list is wrong, but
what about Utah?
Never. That's another one.
Because I remember Stockton and Malone from the Last Dance. You hear about them all the time.
Yep.
Detroit 1-1. I'm just thinking of teams off the top of my head here. Houston's 1-1. I'm jumping around conferences too. Don't mind me. I'm just having a good time here. Uh, wow, this is tough. Just the fact of they're not in front of me. And then you draw a blank, of course, on teams. You're like, okay, what teams? So I got 3, right? Or 2?
2. So you got Nets and Utah. There's 12. So you need 10 more.
I might have to phone a friend and get the logos in front of me. Wow, I wish. See, this is where I wish we had the logos in the background because I would have been able to look at the logos. Charlotte,
Charlotte's one of them.
New Orleans,
3. That's another one. 4.
Wow, that was 2 in a row. I'm getting hot here.
It's hot right now. It's hot.
I'm on fire, baby. Don't slow me down. Let's see. I gave the obvious ones that I could think of. Wow. This is interesting. Give me a hint.
All right. So I'm going to say you have. I think you have 2 more left in the Eastern Conference.
2 more in the East. Oh, wow. Well, obviously Chicago's 1. I'm trying to think of teams that are terrible this year. And it doesn't help because Chicago's won 6 in 7.
So one of the Eastern Conference teams had, I would say, the best player in their franchise history is a big-time three-point shooter.
Wow. That is. What about
one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time?
What about Memphis?
Memphis is one of them.
Has Denver won?
Denver's one of them. So you have Nets, Utah, Charlotte, New Orleans, Denver, Memphis. So you have 6 more.
I want to say Portland.
They've won. I think they won back with Bill Walton, like way, way back.
Wow, yeah. What about Washington?
They won as like the Bullets.
Oh, that's such a cheap shot. Wow. That's so cheap. And
I'll
wait,
give you one.
I'm gonna.
There's a Western Conference.
I got one that's gonna slap me in the face. Oklahoma City.
Yep. I was just gonna say.
How did I not remember the team that I followed for? Oh man, I'm losing my
happens.
mind. All right, give me your hint.
Still, there's an easy Eastern Conference one who had one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time.
One of the greatest three-point shooters of all time.
He went to a finals too. He couldn't win.
Oh, that's easy. Reggie with Indiana.
Yeah.
I was like thinking three-point shooters.
4 more.
4 more.
You have one of them in the Eastern Conference, and then the rest, I believe, the last 3 are in the Western Conference, obviously.
Wow. 3 more, and one's in the East.
We named the player who played on this team. Went to the NBA Finals with them. Eastern Conference.
Who's the player?
Shaq.
Oh, Cleveland. Oh, no, Cleveland's won one. Oh, man. Orlando?
Yep.
That was the Eastern Conference team.
So I think you have 3 more. They're in the Western Conference.
Oh, my goodness. This is a tough one. You're making my brain hurt.
All right, so you got one of them is on the West Coast, and they're big-time finals contenders this year.
Big-time finals contenders. Oh, wow.
They play in the same city as another team.
They play in the same... Oh, the Clippers.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Now, this team's in the same division as them.
Oh, wow. I should have looked up the divisions before we did the show. I wasn't thinking that. Oh, man.
Charles Barkley played on this team.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah. And there's one more team.
Wow, this is tough.
This guy couldn't win a championship with this team, but he had to go somewhere else to win.
That's your...
We watched him growing up.
Why are you talking about your boy LeBron?
Nah, man. No.
I had to throw that dagger in there. Wow. Wait, he had to go to another team to win a title.
So he was drafted by this team out of high school. He was with them for a while, but he had to go elsewhere to win a championship.
Wow, out of high school.
He joined a big three,
Oh man, who did?
but he was
Oh, Minnesota.
yep,
Kevin
there you
Garnett.
go. That's all 12. Yep.
See, I got what?
Not an easy question.
What I get, like 6 right, 7 right, without hints.
It's not bad considering. Listen, if I didn't know that, I'd be doing the same thing you were doing.
The fact that my,
I
the fact that I didn't even get my own team that I followed for how many years, scares me in itself.
It's all right. You named my team. It was the first one out of your mouth. So.
I'm sorry, but I know the
There you
history.
go.
I was like, I had to say it. All right.
It's ugly.
So now I'm going to give you a little bit of a longer question because I need a little time for my brain to recoup after that one.
All right.
There was 27 players, 27, that averaged 20 or more points per game during the 2019-2020 NBA season. Who are they?
You said 27 players,
27. Yep.
and they averaged how many points?
At least 20 points a game, 20 or higher.
And this was last year or this year?
Last year. 2019-2020.
So when the Raptors won.
Yeah.
Okay. LeBron.
Okay, LeBron is on there. He averaged 25.7 points a game.
Okay. I'm gonna say Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid, I don't know. He's not on there.
He didn't score 20 points.
No, a game, no.
Wow. That's crazy.
I'll have to look that up, what he averaged last year, because he didn't average 20.
So I'm gonna assume Ben Simmons isn't on there either then.
No Simmons either. There's a couple of surprises on
That's
here.
interesting.
A lot of obviouses, but a lot of surprises.
Kawhi.
Kawhi is on there. He averaged 26.9.
Okay. D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo Russell is actually not on the list.
Damn. I'm trying to go by division here.
Who led the league in scoring last
There's
year?
definitely not a Knicks player on there.
No, not at all.
Celtics. Kyrie, or was he hurt last year?
Kyrie was hurt last year. He doesn't. I don't think he qualified.
Jason Tatum.
Tatum is on there. He averaged 23.6.
Nice. Giannis, obviously.
Giannis 29.6. He was third in the league in scoring last year. He's on there.
MVP.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say Pacers. Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. Let me see. I don't think he's. Yeah, Jimmy Butler just made the list. 20.2.
Nice. Magic. Kemba.
Kemba Walker is on there. 21.2. That's a good guess.
Nice. Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal was second.
I feel like no.
He was second in the league in scoring at 30.5. That's a good one. Who led the league in scoring? The guy who shoots too much.
Oh man.
He probably led the league in free throws too.
Oh, James Harden, definitely.
James Harden, just under 35 points a game. He led the league last year.
Okay. Westbrook.
Westbrook's
definitely.
on there, 27.5. He ranks in the top 10.
KD.
No, Durant's not on there because Durant missed a part of the season. Yeah, I don't think he qualified because of the
Curry?
injury. Curry, no, he didn't qualify either. Because remember, he missed a lot of time too last year. I don't think they played enough games.
Clay.
No, sir.
None of them are on that. They went to the finals.
Yeah, none of them.
Who
are on
scored?
there. I guess they scored around each other. I don't know.
Devin Booker's got to be on there.
Devin Booker is on there. He averaged 26.1.
Okay. Luka.
Luka is on there, 28.7. There's two guys ahead of him.
There's what?
There's two guys that are ahead of him that you didn't name yet.
Damian Lillard.
Yep, he ruined my Oklahoma City Thunder franchise. He's one.
Okay. Paul George?
No. Because remember, George was hurt too.
Yeah. Grizzlies. Is AD on there?
AD is on there. He had 26.7. I was waiting for you to give me that one. I knew you're missing
Yeah.
one of your favorite players in the NBA too. So you got to get him.
I'm trying to go by division here, but is Donovan Mitchell on there?
Donovan Mitchell is on there, 24.2. And if I told you that there was no Nets on the list, I was lying. I think you said Knicks, but I just want to clarify so I don't throw you off.
There is a net on there,
There
huh?
is a net. Yeah, I think you said Nick before, but in case you didn't and you said net, I just want to clarify.
No, I definitely said Knicks, but Nets, if it's not Russell, then I feel like it's got to be Karis LeVert.
No, sir.
Or is it Dinwiddie?
Dinwiddie averaged 20.6.
So, dude, he's a good player.
He is. I like him.
He's very underrated. How many more do I need?
Let's see. You got one.
Definitely
two,
a lot.
3, 4, 5, 6. You have 12 more.
Tobias Harris?
No.
Karl Anthony Towns?
No. Surprisingly, no.
Damn. DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan's on there at 22.2. He was one of them I didn't get when I did the quiz, so.
Yeah, because he's another guy who's not really talked about too much. Is Trae Young on there?
Trae Young is the one that I was mentioned before over Luka. He averaged 29.6 last year. He's a good shooter.
Yeah. All right, so I need 10 more, right? 10
yeah,
more?
I believe so. Yeah, you got 10 more. A lot of Eastern Conference.
Is it?
I think you're missing. I believe there's only 3 you're missing from
Kyle
the West.
Lowry?
Kyle Lowry's not on there, but there is somebody from Toronto.
Pascal Siakam?
Yep, he's on there, 23.6.
Next, I went through Celtics. Gordon Hayward?
No, there's actually one more Celtic, and it's not Hayward.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown is right. He was at 20.4 last year. A lot of these guys had good years that you don't realize.
Yeah, and him and Tatum are both so young. You don't realize that they're scoring that many points. Is Blake Griffin?
No, Griffin's not on there either. If he was healthy, he would have been on there.
Chris Middleton?
Chris Middleton's on there, 21.1 points per game for him. He's a nice shooter too.
So how many do I have now?
You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. You're getting there.
Damn. All right, so there's.
Let me give you some hints.
I said Kemba earlier, right?
You said Kemba, yeah, you got him already. You're good with the Celtics.
All
right, so this guy plays for the Bulls.
Zach LaVine?
LaVine, yep. He had 25.5 last year. This guy got traded in a pretty big trade before draft day for the Pelicans to get Zion. Well, actually, this guy got traded. He's now a teammate of...
Ingram.
What happened?
Ingram,
yep, that's right. He's on there. He had 24.3 points a game last year. Let's see. Damian Lillard's running mate in Portland. McCollum's on there.
Damn, I'm telling you, I was thinking about some of these guys, but I don't realize they even score over 20.
Now,
like McCollum, I don't picture him scoring over 20 points.
And now this guy is one of your favorite players, and I'm really disappointed you can't announce this player's name. You love this guy. Like, if this guy came to your house right now, you would cook him dinner, and you would be like, man, you're the man. Like, you talk about this guy all the time, how good you think he is, and how underrated he is.
Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins. Yes, sir. That's one.
Yeah.
This guy I would have never.
Wait, what was he
get.
scoring? Like 24 or something?
He had
Was it 24?
21.8 last year,
21. It was something around like the lower 20s.
and that was with.
So how many do I have now?
You need 3 more. One plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I feel sorry for him.
Love?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Andre Drummond?
No, sir. Think guard.
Is he really, really young?
Yeah.
Colin Sexton, really?
Yes, sir. He averaged 20.8.
Wow. I didn't
I didn't think of him either.
did not realize that. Is there a Kings player on there?
No, you got 2 Western Conference forwards. One plays for the Jazz, one plays for the Nuggets.
Oh, Jokic?
Jokic is
Or
20.2.
And then, Gobert?
No.
Paul Millsap?
No.
On the Jazz?
This one, I can't say this guy's name. His first name I can. The last name is just, I'll botch it.
Is it Inglis or whatever?
No.
Joe Engels? Whatever.
You said the name right, just not the right guy.
Oh my God, on the Jazz. So it's not Gobert. It's not. I don't even think Millsap's on the team anymore. I think he's on Nuggets. Jazz.
You want me to give you this one?
Yeah, might as well.
Bojan.
Bogdanovich?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised because he used to be on the Nets, but like I said, that's a tough one.
Then
A lot of these guys, you just don't picture them scoring 20 points a game.
Especially thinking especially the way we follow basketball. You're thinking Durant, Curry, Thompson, Mitchell.
Yeah.
You're thinking all these guys are scoring 20 when in reality they're all on the injured list.
Yeah, that's another thing I wasn't really thinking of. Plus, I feel like last year's season feels like 2 years ago now because of everything going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I forget half those players even hurt.
Yeah, for sure. But before we go to your question, we do have a fan question.
Yeah.
And I just got this. This is from Randy Fernandez. Name the 4 NBA teams whose name doesn't end with an S. So the name can't end with an S.
Ooh. That's a good one. 4 of them?
Yeah, I got one.
Jazz?
Jazz. That's the one I had. Thanks a lot.
Wow.
Magic. My team, the Thunder.
There you go.
Yes, I got my team I represented. There's one more. Wow.
Heat.
There we go. We got
Heat.
4. We passed our first test from the audience. I love it. Thank you, Randy, for the question.
That's a good question.
That was.
I had to think about that.
And we split it, which is good.
Yeah, we've each got a few of them. All right, that was a good one. All right, my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Where was
Randy
I?
commented and said nice that we got it right. So we're happy we made the crowd happy.
Yeah, and if we're asking some of these questions, don't hesitate to answer them in the comments either. This is for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, this one. I'm trying to find. All right, can you name every team that Vince Carter has played on?
Wow. Vince Carter. Well, the Raptors is obvious.
We might be here all night.
We might be here all night. He played for the Raptors. Then he got traded to the Nets.
Right.
Then after the Nets, he went to the Magic. Was it?
Yep.
Then he went. Well, let's just go. I'll give you Hawks, for sure, because that's where he ended his career. Wow.
Mhm.
Who else did Vince Carter play for?
So you have 4 already.
How-
There's 4 more.
There's 4. There's 4 more. Thanks. That's so reassuring.
That's when you know.
That's when you know you've been around. Memphis.
Yeah.
Wow. Who else did Vince Carter play for? The Kings, maybe?
Yep.
Wow.
2 more.
This is embarrassing. I don't know. One of my favorite players of all time. I don't know who he played for. I meant.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
The next two teams that he played on, there's a great point guard who played on both of these teams. He didn't play with them. There's a great point guard,
A
international player, who played on both of these teams.
Dallas
Hmm.
is one. Who's the final team? Wow. Holy smokes.
Won 2 MVPs with him.
With
The
them,
guy I'm thinking of.
he did. Wait,
The guy I'm thinking of won 2 MVPs with this team that I'm thinking of, that Vince Carter played on.
Oh, I'm thinking. I thought you meant Carter. I'm like, wait, he won the. I didn't even think he won an MVP.
No, no, no. No.
Are you thinking Jazz?
Nope.
I didn't know if he played. I'm trying to think. Who's the final team?
Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. He played for and you're thinking Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think.
It's a tough one.
That is a tough one. He's been around the block, man. Oh.
He had a small little stint with the Suns.
Now I'm gonna give you a little bit of a headache one there too, because that one just put me in my headache. How many teams did Charles Barkley play for?
Ooh. How many or which teams?
You could say which teams. I just know how many. I don't have them listed.
All right, I'm gonna say Sixers. I think that's where he started,
I
right?
think so. Not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me.
Phoenix,
Phoenix, definitely.
Houston.
He played for Houston. That is correct.
Isn't that it?
That is it. He played for 3 teams in his NBA career. So
I was gonna say. I feel like
he played, like you said, he played for Philly. He played for Phoenix. He played for Houston. Those are the 3.
he was on some good teams, Jim.
And a lot of people don't remember how good he was. Like everybody sees him as an analyst, and people don't like him, but he was a good basketball player.
Really athletic for his size. All right, let me see. Let's see. Skip a few of those. All right, who was the last NBA player to be drafted out of high school?
The last player. Was he any good?
I believe he's still playing in the league today.
He's still playing. Oh man. What year did the high school rule change?
So, I believe it was this year that I'm about to say, but all I know is just the last high school player. It was 2005.
2005. Wow. That's a good one.
I feel like you might not get this one because I would have never known either.
What team is he on? Like now, dude.
That's a good question. He might be on the Celtics. Celtics, Raptors, one of them. He's a role player.
He's a role player. He's one of those guys. I see it.
It's going to be tough.
Wow. I don't know. That's a tough one. What position?
Should I say power forward?
I'm staring at my wall thinking it's going to help me. Is it Brandon Jennings? Because we got a answer from our crowd.
No.
Wow. That's...
Because Brandon Jennings wasn't drafted out of high school. He was actually drafted, I think, from an international team. I think he skipped college to go international.
Wow. I have no idea.
I don't think anyone's going to know this. It's Amir Johnson.
Amir Johnson. I've heard the name, but I didn't think he was still playing.
He's just,
There.
I would just say a role player, power forward, nothing special. But he was drafted, I think it was like the 53rd or 56th pick in like that 2005 draft. So, to be honest, if I didn't know that, I would have said Dwight Howard.
Yeah, that would have been a good guess. I'm thinking like I couldn't even tell you who I was thinking. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I'm thinking back to like the McGrady days. I'm like, oh, one of them was the last one, but that's a good one. I never would have guessed that.
All right.
Now, my next question for you. Let's see what I want to ask. All right, this point guard won a championship and an NBA Finals Most Valuable Player award in his rookie season. Who is he?
Magic.
Magic Johnson, very good. Look at you. I didn't even have to give you the birthplace of him.
He's the youngest Finals MVP ever. It was like what, 20?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he was 20 at the time.
Greatest point guard to ever play.
He was great.
All right, I got one. We're both North Carolina fans.
All right.
Who is the highest drafted North Carolina player since 2000?
Since 2000. Wow. There's a lot of them that were
Highest drafted.
that were drafted since 2000. Carter was before that. Wow.
This is a tough one too. I feel like it could be tough. I don't feel like it's like the first guy that would really come to mind.
Is he still around?
I believe so. If he is, he's a role player.
Wow, this is.
He never really was anything spectacular in the pros, but he was all right.
I keep thinking of guys that are way out of the league now, like Sean May, like Hansborough, like.
It's in that group. It's in that group, but I think this guy might still be around. Like, might just be hanging on.
Felton?
Maybe. If not, he's out of the league the last 2 or 3 years.
Is it Raymond Felton?
No, he's on that team though.
That team was so good. Oh man, I'm trying to think of guys on that team. They were loaded. The ones you think of are May and Felton. Who is it?
Mm-hmm. Marvin Williams.
Marvin Williams. Wow, I forgot he was drafted so high.
Second pick, I think, in 2005 to the Jazz, I'm going to say.
Yeah, he really didn't do much in the NBA. He was good in college, but he never really
right.
translated. That's why I wasn't thinking him. And then you think of guys like Hansborough who wasn't drafted that high, and then you think of Kobe White last year, who was the 7th pick. You're like, did anybody get picked higher than that?
I think Barnes was like what, the 6th pick?
Yeah, Barnes was up there, and then you think Jordan, but Jordan was drafted obviously before 2000. It wasn't.
Yeah, and Carter, I think Antoine Jameson, a few of those guys, but they were all before 2000.
Yeah, it just shows the history and tradition of Carolina.
UNC.
Now, as we're on the topic of Carolina, Cole Anthony, top 10?
No, I don't think so. I think he's gonna slide. I really do. I don't know, man. I'm not really sure he's going to be a great pro. He hasn't impressed me that much. Like, I liked him when he came to us, but the more I watched him, he's injury prone. I think he's kind of selfish. I'm not really into the point guards who want to take the ball and score every play. I like guys who could kind of facilitate and get guys open, and if you need them to score, they score. But I don't like a guy who runs down the court. Like, as good as Trae Young is, I'm not really into that type of guy. The only guards I really like that will just take the ball and score are Curry and Westbrook, but I think they're just different. They're from another planet.
They really are. And you know, the thing about Cole is he was so overhyped before coming to Carolina. So everything he did this year was underwhelming and disappointing. And, you know, you got to give it, you know, he was injured. You see that. But if you put Kobe White on this year's team, they're 5 games better record-wise.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that.
I actually got a few more. I got a few more questions for you.
All right, we got some time here. Let's do it.
Yeah. Who was the last player drafted number 1 overall that wasn't a freshman out of college or an international player?
The last player drafted number 1 overall that wasn't an international player out of high school?
No, who wasn't a freshman out of college or an international player.
Wow. Let me think of this. Well, I can't even think of who was the first pick this year. That's how bad I am right now. Wow. What team? Clippers. Blake Griffin.
Yep.
Blake Griffin was
sophomore out of college.
Sophomore. I remember that because he didn't come out the first year because he really didn't have a great freshman year, and then his sophomore year he really took off. He was really good.
Dominated.
He was fine.
I got another one real quick. Or do you have any more?
No, go for it.
All right, I'll knock these out quick. Who has the most MVPs in NBA history?
MVPs. I would assume it's a Laker.
Yeah.
Chamberlain or Jabbar?
Jabbar. 6 MVPs. Who's the oldest MVP ever?
Wow. Maybe Duncan?
Nope.
I don't know this one. That one's definite no.
Karl Malone.
The mailman.
I think it was back in '98.
Oh yeah, when Jordan left. That's right.
And then I guess to close it out, these aren't really questions you have an answer to. This is your own opinion. If your life was on the line, name your starting five to win you a game right now of current NBA players.
Wow, that's a good one. So Magic at the point.
No, of current
Oh,
players.
current player. Oh, I thought you meant all time. I'm like, okay, I got you.
We'll do all time right after, but current right
okay,
now.
current right now. If I had to win, if how many games? One game?
One game.
Oh,
Winner take
does
all.
it matter positions? I gotta ask these questions. You know how I am.
No. LeBron could be your point if you needed him.
I'm going Curry at the point because I love the fact that he could facilitate and shoot the ball. I'm gonna go with Kawhi at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Durant at the 5. And I'm playing small.
It's interesting.
Who would you go?
Yeah. Did you say Kawhi?
I did at the 2.
I have the same exact starting five, but I would go Curry at the 1. Weirdly enough, I'm going to go LeBron at the 2. I never thought I'd see him as a shooting guard, but he is right now. 3, I'm going to go Durant. Even though he's taller than Kawhi, I'm going to have Kawhi at 4 because I think he's a better defender, a little bigger of a body. And then at 5, I'm going to put Giannis because he's 6'11".
Yeah, I'm just playing bodies. I'm telling them, pick up a man. Let's play defense.
Yeah.
Let's run the floor. And if they could keep
It's like
up,
the All-Star
yeah,
game.
if they could keep up, they could keep up. But I think that's my 5. I wouldn't want a center. There's no center other than maybe Davis. I wouldn't want a center.
It's not that type of league anymore. Now, if you had to go all time to win a game, who is it?
I would.
Same thing. These could be players at any positions.
Okay, so how it changes, I go Magic at the 1, Kobe at the 2, LeBron at the 3. I mean, Jordan at the 3, LeBron at the 4, Shaq at the 5.
Nice.
What about you?
I'm gonna go Magic at the 1, Jordan at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Jabbar at the 4, and Shaq at the 5.
That's an interesting 4. I like that with Jabbar and Shaq down low. I had to get the 4 of my guys in. I'm like, so I figured I'd put Shaq in the 5, let him rebound.
There's so many guys out there. Like Elijah Wan is another big man that comes to mind that I feel like just doesn't get credit a lot. And you could all right, that I could have asked that question right there. Like, who's the only player in NBA history to win a championship, a Finals MVP, an MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year in 1 year? Elijah Wan, the only player who's ever done it. That's like incredible.
That's insane.
Like you're the MVP probably based on the points you scored and what you did offensively, and you were the best defensive player, and you won a championship, and you were the best player in that finals.
That's impressive. I don't think that's ever going to be done again.
No, I mean you would have to completely dominate the league, and he did that obviously. You know, the 2 years that Jordan wasn't in the league, so but Elijah Wan was always great.
Now I got one more kind of an opinion-based question for you, as we're on this topic.
Yeah.
You're down 1. Championship on the line. You got a couple seconds on the clock. You got 1 shot. Who's taking that shot?
Man,
You could even go.
That's
You
tough.
could even go to the point of saying where you want the shot to be.
I mean, I think it's got to be between 2 players. It's Kobe and Jordan. But I think you got to go Jordan just because it's Jordan. Like we've seen them both do that. I mean, I think Jordan's a better player than Kobe. I think they both are very, very similar. You could compare the two, but I think Jordan's better than him. So I guess I would have to go Jordan there. But if you want to talk about current players, 2 of them were on the same team. Like, I'm putting Durant and Curry in that conversation. I mean, I probably trust Curry knocking down a shot over anyone in the whole league, personally. And we talked about this before we got on here. You can't forget about Klay either. Klay is just as good of a shooter as Curry. You just don't. He's in his shadow. So Klay's another guy. Like I would trust him taking a shot too. Those guys rarely miss.
Oh yeah, they're incredible. If I had to pick a past player, it'd be Jordan. I'd give him the ball at the top of the key and tell him do your thing. He showed many times he could do that. if I had to pick a current player, I'm going Durant just because of loyalty base. But
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with Curry. Curry could pull up from three. He could drive to the hoop. But if I need a foul, I'm going Harden.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? There's certain players in the league that you don't even think of much that are clutch. Like Damian Lillard's very, very clutch. He always has been. And even a guy who's coming up right now. I mean, if you take a look at his highlights, the amount of times he's hit those late game shots, those clutch threes, like that's big, man. That's the type of player you want. You know, and I'm glad LeBron has become more clutch over his career. I know he wasn't too clutch earlier on, but these past few years, as much as people don't want to give him credit, he has stepped up in those big game sixes and game sevens. And, you know, he might not hit the game winning shot, but you're not in the game without him. So
Oh
it's always
yeah, and
interesting.
that's a thing you got to take into consideration too. Is that he keeps you in the game. Without him, you're not in that position. So a lot of people say,
Right.
"Oh, you made the last shot," but what happened the first 47 minutes to get you to that point?
Oh, yeah. I know. And I guess before we wrap up today, you know, Nick and I have been we've been trying to think of different things to do right now because, you know, ever since we started the Let's Debate podcast, sports world's pretty much been on pause, right? So, luckily, you know, if you've been following sports in the past week or so, we're starting to hear some good news. You know, I know Nick and I haven't really talked about the NHL, but if you even want to talk about them, they're getting their league year started, you know, fairly soon. You know, the NHL approved, I guess, their proposal to get the season restarted. The NBA is going to be coming back in about a month or so. And then we heard from the MLB commissioner yesterday that he's like basically 100% positive and certain that they're going to have a season this year. So, yeah, I think we're going to have a lot more better shows coming up in the future because there's going to be live sports to finally talk about. And even in the coming months after that, you got the NBA draft, you got football starting up. So, you know, I think with everything going on in the world right now, I think we're all in dire need of live sports to come back to get our mind off some things that are going on right now.
Listen, are we jumping into the NHL, and what team are we following? I think we have to like agree on a team here. I think maybe we'll like next episode we'll do like a little wheel and we'll spin the wheel and see what team we're gonna follow. I don't know, or do we stick to
So,
Devils and
so I
Rangers?
I'm actually a Devils fan. I've been a Devils fan my whole life, but I'll admit that I don't follow hockey as much as I do baseball, basketball, and football. But I do follow hockey. I'm actually pretty knowledgeable about the sport, and I love watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, they're hockey's one of those sports. It's nonstop. I love it. It's fun to watch. It's a long season. It's just like the NBA. You know, you're not going to sit there and watch every single game, but you follow it. I don't know if we're ever going to jump into that topic, but I figured to throw it out there because you never know who's watching, who likes hockey, and the playoffs. You know, the way they're coming back with the season, I think they're bringing like 24 teams back to kind of get something going. I don't know if it's like a 24 team playoff or whatever it is, but playoffs are great in hockey, so
We'll have to bring
I'd be open to talking about that.
we'll have to bring in an NHL correspondent to guide us on our playoff talk. We'll do that as the NHL playoffs come closer to fruition. But like you said, it's going to be a lot better when we get things going. The NBA is going to be starting up in a couple of weeks. You're going to have the NHL. Hopefully, baseball settles their differences and figures it out because we can all use it, especially in times like this. But before we wrap it up for today's show, our MVP award goes to you because not only are you injured, but you held your own under your title of basketball is your forte. You did a good job tonight.
I think you did just as good. I mean, for the most part, it's just like baseball. We didn't have all the correct answers, but we weren't out of the loop. You know, we had an idea of what we were talking about. Some of those questions were hard. You know, you're throwing questions at me where I gotta give you 27 answers. I mean, like, it's hard, and I threw some of them at you. Like, you had to think back to the beginning of time to see what teams won championships. So they weren't easy questions, and there's so many basketball players and so many records, and it's not easy. It's probably easier said than done. Um, but I enjoy this, and maybe you know what? Maybe next week, I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe next week we do a football one. Like, who knows? You know, we're getting closer and closer to live sports. So um, I know Nick and I are going to try to do our best to keep this consistent. Try to get the Thursday night episodes in. but yeah, I mean, listen, I'll take the MVP. Watching the Jordan doc the past few weeks or whenever it was, the past month or so, the flu game. I had my sling game today. Okay, I had the sling game. I'm over here trying to count championships, and I can only get one hand up. So it was a struggle, but we got through it.
Hopefully LeBron doesn't ask you tonight how many, because not one, not two. If you have to go past that 5, you might not be able to get there. But again,
well, luckily he didn't get over that. So.
Yeah, not yet. We're good. But again, we appreciate your dedication. We're gonna keep going with these shows. We'll be back on Thursday night, and that football kind of topic. As long as we keep the Jets out of it, I think we're gonna be in a good spot.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? Some good news from the Jets camp too. They said supposedly Darnold's getting the guys out there practicing. So there's been a lot of hype around Darnold lately. Let's hope it works out with them.
Let's just hope he plays 16 games this year.
We just can't have him walk around Hoboken. He doesn't go around Hoboken. He'll be playing 16 games.
Baby steps, baby steps. But again, follow us on social media. Everything is listed below. If you're listening on the audio side, at Delahanty Media on Instagram, the Let's Debate Podcast on Facebook, and at Let's Debate Pod on Twitter. Visit our store for any Delahanty Media gear. We have the Let's Debate shirts. Go get those. You're listening to our show. Wear them every Thursday night. Heck, if you want, we'll even sign them for you. We'll definitely make an effort to do that. And make sure you guys come back on Thursday night. Thanks for interacting with us. We had a lot of people listening in tonight. We appreciate it every single week. But we'll be back Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on Facebook. Until then, my name is Nick Delahanty. That's Kyle Delahanty. Hopefully he has no more life-changing injuries before then. And we'll talk to you next week, and hopefully everybody takes care and we get through these tough times together.
Yeah, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.